Changing is actually hard work. One does not simply fall from a cliff and is changed. That was so funny, too. So, during their fight, Sauron and Galadriel, at one point, he knows she has the elven ring, Nenya, and he wants it. He wants her to give it to him? He can't just take it? He can't just take off her hand and grab it? No, she has to give it to him. It's so weird. It's so strange. And so she holds out her hand. She's clutching her ring. And I guess Sauron would think that maybe she's just going to plop it into his hand. But no, she just falls backward off of the cliff, Wile E. Coyote style. And now everyone else sees her fall. So not only has she fallen from this great height, she's also been stabbed fatally by the crown. So she's got significant fatal injuries here. But it seems that when the other elves, Gil-galad and Elrond, find her, that really the only injury that's significant is the stabbing of the crown. That's the only injury she appears to have. Not a broken bone, I guess, anywhere. She had a soft landing, I guess. Sorry, none of this makes sense. I'm fine with suspending disbelief to a degree, but you have to ground even a fantasy show in realism. That's the reason why we're invested in the stories, is if they feel realistic. Even if we're in fantastical settings and we have like characters with certain powers and abilities, they still need to make sense. And we still need to have them with like realistic challenges to overcome. That's what makes it interesting to watch. If everyone just overcomes an injury and a challenge like it's nothing, well, then it's not interesting. If you have your characters just fatally wounded in one scene and then magically healed the next with no explanation in between, that's not interesting. It just makes us question, like, what happened? Something happened off screen that they just didn't put in? It prevents immersion. Sauron's nice enough to ask for consent, I guess. Ugh. It's insulting that they deal with the desecration of Galadriel's character by giving her a hard reset. It's easier than writing an arc, I guess. Yeah, and even like when season 1 was going on and even the marketing for that before the show premiered, they kept saying that she was like, well, she's younger Galadriel, or she's young Galadriel, and she's not the Galadriel that we know in The Lord of the Rings. She's brash and young, and I don't think they say stupid, but she acts stupid. So I guess that means that's brash, I guess, in their minds. Brash means bullish and stupid and blind to what's in front of you. But everything just works out. Like, that's not a character arc. To be annoying and unintelligent and stupid and throwing your comrades under the bus because you don't want to accept the consequences of your actions, and then turning out not to be that. So she's annoying before, and the character arc is that, well, she's not annoying anymore, and she has humility, and she's not filled with pride and stupidity. Okay. That's the character arc for them. She's annoying, and then she's not. Yeah, okay. That's why it feels to me like this could be a series finale. This could work as one, because now we see her as kind of more of this lady of light that the character is supposed to be. She still is 5'2", but at the very end, okay, she's clad in this simple white gown and seems filled with light. I don't know why. She's just like that. We go from one scene where she's recovering and they've healed her, and in the next, they're in the elven sanctuary of Rivendell. Okay? There's just so much happening off screen that they don't bother with. Also, where did Galadriel get that dress from? She fell in her armor with trousers. Did they change her clothes? I don't know. How long did it take them to get there? They're just all of a sudden there. Again, they quick traveled. Did Sauron use telekinesis to throw a woman off the wall? Couldn't he use that to pull the ring from Galadriel as she falls? Yeah. And why couldn't he go after her? Why couldn't it have prevented, Galadriel from falling? Why couldn't he have just cut the ring from her hand? And she didn't drop the ring. Also, what was her plan? Get splattered? Sauron walks down to the bottom of the cliff and gets the ring anyway? She shouldn't even be here. The way they framed this show, the way they framed this episode, none of this makes sense. I'm fine with suspending disbelief, but this is too much of a degree. You literally have to just turn your brain off to accept any of this. She looks like she's gonna give him the ring, and it just falls backward. This just makes Sauron look so weakened, and again, just a simp for Galadriel, because he's supposed to be evil, but he can't because he secretly has the hots for Galadriel, so he needs her to give the ring to him. I don't know. And also, as she falls, he's a Maya. He's one of the most powerful beings in Middle Earth. Why can't he just, I don't know, go after her or prevent her from falling and get the ring from her? Geez, I can think of like so many different ways how this could have gone down to where it would make sense. Sauron's skill set and power level change as needed by plot. There's so much of that happens with any number of characters. In-world consistency. The established rules of the shown universe must make sense in itself. This one doesn't at all. And this is how we get immersed into something. Even in these universes where magic exists and we have all these powerful beings and these different abilities, you have to address it. You have to think about it. You have to ground it in a certain level of realism so that your story makes sense to the viewer. And you can't just say, oh, magic, that's why. That's why this happened. You have to give a reason for why things unfold the way they do, why the characters make the decisions that they do. The show has no established rules, that's the problem. And as we saw before with Arondir, we can't even have basic levels of continuity in regards to one scene connecting to another. It's very amateurish. It's all just meaningless dreck. Yeah, Rivendell is about 600 miles from the city in Eregion, so I guess half an hour walk? Yeah. They're just there. Again, they just quick traveled. I don't know. There was no sense of time. It seems like, yeah, it was just an afternoon walk, which is funny too. All the other characters look the same, but Galadriel looks pristine and in a new outfit, but everyone else is in their same outfits from the previous scene. They even have like the same smudges of dirt, but Galadriel is pristine looking and in a new outfit. We're like traveled all of this way off screen and we don't know how much time it took. It's so ridiculous. It is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for them. So is she now supposed to be the Galadriel we all remember her to be, that she should have been from the beginning? And again, they just throw Rondir in here just because. And again, how are they supposed to interact in season 3? There is no story point for any of that, so this fight was pointless. Is she gonna swing by Mordor? Yeah, and this actually is another one of those storylines where, with how they left it, I wonder if this really could be the last season, because I feel like it left off with a pretty, not satisfying, but just that note of finality, because at the very end, all the elves, the elven leaders, lick their wounds or whatever, they flee Eregion and get healed from their injuries magically, and they found Rivendell. And the way they filmed it too had that air of triumphant finality, like they could end it there if they had needed to. So, I don't know, we'll see.